Good morning. Okay. Today, I am going to share something with you. You're going to come with me. We're going to do this together. Okay. So, if you've been following me on social media, you know I have like female reproductive health issues. I have PCOS, endometriosis, Hashimoto's. And if you don't know what those are, I'm more than happy to go into discussion with you about them. And so because of that, I've had multiple miscarriages, and then I've also had a lot of like random bleeding. One point I almost bled for like a year and a half straight. Not a vibe. And then another point, I think I bled for like over 8 months, and I finally stopped at the beginning of July, which was great, except now I haven't had a period since. So now what happens is gotta take a pregnancy test to find out, am I pregnant or is my period just being wonky? Now, here's the problem. These mess with my mind so bad. So bad, because I'm sitting there like hoping that's gonna be positive. Which is very funny to me, because like I'm also okay if it's not. But there's been a slight change in things. For the longest time, me and my husband kind of had our heads wrapped around the fact that we weren't gonna have babies. Like, we just weren't gonna get pregnant. And then bombshell dropped. He kind of sort of changed his mind, and we're thinking about having babies now, which is like a really difficult road for me, but we decided that we're going to try all natural when he gets back from deployment, and if it happens, it happens, and if it doesn't, it doesn't, which I'm okay with. I don't want to do any like IVF or any like infertility stuff at all. I just want to get like everything cleaned up and then go from there. By cleaned up, I mean I've had no sort of endometriosis management since 2017, so I need to go in there and get it all taken care of. Like, they go in and do a surgery, they burn it all, and then hopefully be able to track my cycles a little bit better with my PCOS, and we'll just kind of go from there. But in true Sarah fashion, if I was pregnant right now, that would make so much sense, because he's about to deploy. So of course I would get pregnant before he deploys. So now I kind of have that in my head, and I'm like, oh, shit. So I also want to record this, because what if I catch on camera that I'm pregnant? That would be really exciting, but I need to get it out of my head. I need to get it out of my head and stop getting my hopes up, because like the timing would be awful. My husband's about to deploy. That would be my life, though. Okay, we're gonna do this together. Let's do it together. Okay, I'm excited and I'm nervous. You know, they always make these so hard to open. Okay. Let's do this. Just like that me. So awkward. But here it is. On the counter. Oh, God. Okay, I never set a timer for this. I really need to get better at that. So I'm gonna do that, and then we're gonna come back. Okay, let's do it. I think I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna throw up. Set a 3-minute alarm. Okay. So that's going. And let me tell you what, I have had, okay, this is what made me think about taking a pregnancy test. Because I was like, wait, how long I was having like really bad like nausea yesterday, and like I've been having like food aversions. Now I will say I think that the food aversions, I've had food aversions for a long time. I get really weird about food, and I think the more like research, the more like content I consume, I think I'm realizing that I thought for the longest time part of it was ADHD, but I think it's actually ADHD with autism. And I've always had that inkling about myself, but I never really explored it, and so I'm kind of exploring it more. And I don't want to be like one of those people that like chases a diagnosis, because I really don't think it matters, especially at the stage I'm in my life. It just gives me more understanding of myself. Like, I don't need to go around and say that I'm autistic or that anything like that, although I don't mind saying that. I have no problem telling people if I was, but I don't think I need to get like an official diagnosis, but maybe I do. I don't know. I've thought about it, but I've had really bad food aversions, and sometimes like they say that it could be a part of ADHD, so it might be that. But then I was also having some nausea with it, which again is not uncommon. But on top of that, I've been having some really bad body aches, which I assumed was because of traveling as much as we did, which I'll do another vlog series about that. And then I was like, shit, all of that. And then I accidentally, or not accidentally, but I found a pregnancy test. And then my mind was like, ooh, wait a minute. How long has it been since you've had your period? And I was like, oh, it's been like almost 2 months since I've had a period, which I'm actually very grateful for, because my bleeding is so heavy. So I was like, okay, I'm okay with that, but also we probably should check, because of like the stage I am in life, with like all of the moving, husband about to deploy, all that stuff. So there's the alarm. Okay, let's do this. I'm feeling super sick to my stomach about this. I think it's because I'm doing this on camera. Not pregnant. It's okay, Tiger. You'll get them next time. He uses humor to deflect. Man. So dumb. I didn't expect this. I didn't expect to cry. Whatever. I'm gonna collect myself. I'll be right back. I feel a little bit better. This is just Sarah. This is just Sarah now, right now. Like, as in, this isn't Sarah, the board certified life coach and Ayurveda practitioner and nurse. This is just Sarah. And I would never tell a client this. I would never say this to anybody else. But like in my head, I'm just thinking like, oh, like the timing isn't right, and that's okay. Like if I was pregnant right now, like this is how I'm getting over this little blow right now. First, I breathed a little bit. I cried for a minute. And then I was like, yeah, it's probably honestly a good thing you're not, because your husband's not gonna be around. Like, he's gonna be gone. And I've always wanted to experience pregnancy together. So of course I would be with my sister, and she's super supportive, so she would be very excited. But also I'm like, do you even want a kid? Because we really don't know. Like, we're so torn. We're like, 1 minute we do, 1 minute we don't. And that also plays in my head too. Wow. I thought I was going to be real and raw and unfiltered. And damn. I went there with y'all. So if you could comment and subscribe and like down. But for real, I know how triggering this can be if you're like someone who also experiences miscarriages or female hormone issues or infertility or anything like that. So if you're watching this and you're getting triggered, I just want you to know that I love you. Take the time you need to process. If you need help, please reach out. And also don't forget to not to comment things like, oh, it'll happen when you're ready, because that's not true. It's not true for people who struggle with infertility. And in fact, it's very interesting because yesterday at the grocery store, me and Chris were at the grocery store together, and there was this chick checking us out, and she just kept saying over and over again, he looks like such a little dad. And I was like, he's not. Well, I bet he's gonna make a good one. Could you not say that? He looks so responsible, talking about my husband. And I'm like, stop saying that. Like, we're fucking infertile, bitch. Like, why are you saying that? She's like, well, one day. And I was like, I just really wanted to be quite frank and be like, yeah, I'll let you know the next time we have unprotected sex and it fails. But obviously I couldn't. We're on a military base and I can't be like that. So just a little interesting thing. Don't say things like that to people. Don't do it. That's not nice. It is not nice to ask about people's parenting journey like that, or when they're gonna have babies. It's just, don't do it, because you never know what the fuck they're going through. Okay. Sometimes too, I will say, I feel like on my journey, because I don't know if I want kids or not, that like my journey isn't as, like, I would say like as bad as some of the people that want to have kids really bad and they can't. And I think that kind of like plays with my head a little bit. So I'm working through that as well. Okay. I'll be back. And I don't know what else to say. Thanks for coming with me. It did make me feel a little less lonely. So I really love this vlogging for me. Like, it's a vibe. Sometimes I'm like, am I bipolar? Because I went from like really sad to really happy really quick. But that's me. Okay, for real. I'm okay. I'm okay. Everything's fine. But thanks for coming with me. I love you. I mean it. Bye. Hi. Wow. I don't know about you, but that video was a little hard for me to watch. Maybe it's because I was just like so raw and real that it gave me like a vulnerability hangover. And that happened in August, September, and it is now November, and I'm in a completely different space in my life. And I think that filming in real time can be such a beautiful thing. And like I really wanted this channel to be was a place for me to, number one, be able to be seen in multiple different lenses, but also for me to share my life with you. And in those moments, I think that I am so open. It kind of scares me watching it back. Like, a lot of beliefs come online, a lot of thoughts come online, like, what are people gonna think when they watch this? And seeing like my body, seeing myself, seeing what I was going through, it's like, wow, that was so intense, and that was so much emotion there that I had experienced. And I'm like, what if it gets lost in translation? What if people don't quite understand or grasp? And I'm gonna share this with you anyways. I'm gonna show this to you anyways and publish this video, because I think that, number one, there's beauty in it. There's beauty in being so real, raw, and vulnerable. And I don't think that there's a lot of people these days that are really open about what they go through and what they experience. And they don't allow the emotion to flow so freely in front of people. And I think, of course, privacy is always something that can be
an incredible thing to have. But for me, I don't have privacy. I don't need privacy in certain areas of my life. And I think if I could just allow one person to, or have one person experience this and not feel so lonely going through this same exact thing, that maybe a couple things could happen. Maybe this topic would feel so less taboo. Maybe this would be something that we could freely talk about and know that we're not so alone on this journey like we oftentimes feel like we are, right? I don't know a lot of other women in their 30s who have Hashimoto's, PCOS, and endometriosis who also aren't sure if they want to have a kid, but also every time they take a pregnancy test, because their cycles are all over the place, they're a little hopeful that maybe it would be a positive. And then when it's not, they're let down. That's a very specific thing, right? And I don't know a lot of other women who are experiencing that. So for me, I feel so alone in that journey. And that's why I wanted to share this with you. Maybe I'm not as alone as I think I am. And maybe you're feeling the same way. And maybe through seeing this, you're going to feel like, oh, wow, maybe I'm also not as alone. And I want this channel to be a multitude of things. First off, I want to be seen as me, who I truly am, and be able to show my personality with you, which oftentimes I feel like kind of gets like silenced on social media. And two, I want to share some expertise here as well, right? And some videos will be the time and place for that. And then some videos, it won't. It'll just be me, Sarah. Just Sarah. Not Sarah the life coach, not Sarah the Ayurveda practitioner, not Sarah the holistic coach, not Sarah the nurse, just Sarah. And that's what you've seen a lot on my channel so far. So if you've been watching this far, I just want to say thank you. I can't wait to share educational videos with you, and I can't wait to do some more fun things on this channel with you. But for the most part, this is what I wanted. I wanted people to know that there's so many beautiful, deep layers within me that I don't really feel like I can share on social media. And if someone's on my YouTube channel, it means that they had to go there. It means that they had to watch the video in its entirety and really like see that and see me. So it makes me feel like they actually want to be there. Whereas social media, you're just scrolling and maybe you forgot to unfollow me, or maybe you don't actually read my content. With YouTube, it's totally different. It's because you want to be here. So after all that, I know some of these videos can be very heavy. I'm like watching them back and I'm having moments of like, oh, like, did I really share that? Did I really say that? And again, like I'm filming in real time on these videos. But at the end of the day, I really, really, really believe so strongly that there's so much beauty that can be said in real time. And there's so much raw emotion that can be captured in real time. So I know you probably saw the text on the screen where I was like, I actually wouldn't say that. I actually would have never corrected that cashier that was saying all those things to us, even though it didn't feel good, right? It felt very bad in the moment. I probably would never correct them because of the type of person I am, but also I want you to know that I don't necessarily have so many strong beliefs that I would call them names or anything like that. You know, like I understand that not everybody understands how much their words have impact. And I know that that's, you know, a problem and a lot of people need to work through that. But also at the same time, it's like when I am verbally processing what is going on, I have a tendency to be maybe harsher than what I would ever be in real life or be in that moment. Like I had a moment today where someone said something to me and I kept my mouth shut, right? And then I can go and talk to my sister and be like, oh my God, like they said this and how dare they? And I let it all out, right? And that's kind of how I was having in that moment. I was voicing my frustration to you, the listener. And so I just wanted you to know that. I wanted you to see me and my humanness in that. And that's why I didn't edit it out. I felt like it was very important. I was so hurt that I had these words of frustration. And then once I voiced them, it's like it was gone. And obviously I wouldn't voice them to the person. And maybe you've said something like that in the past too. And you might be thinking, oh my gosh, her words are so strong. And I've said something like that in the past too, and whatever. And I want you to know that, hey, now you can take some accountability for that, right? Just like I can take some accountability for the words I had used in that moment. obviously not pointed to that person in real life. So anyways, I just wanted to say thank you for being here. As I keep seeing these videos and I'm continuing editing now that I have a little bit more time, I hope you can understand and witness me in my real, in my rawness, in my authenticity, and also enjoy the moments that I get to have, like these personal moments with you, and also enjoy the moments where I get to teach you and have these moments where I get to be your friend. Like, I want all of it to exist, and I believe it all can exist. Honestly, I think there's so many places and people who feel like they can only show up as one version of themselves on social media, and for me, that leaves me feeling like I'm stuck in a box. And there's too much of life that I really do enjoy that I can't stick to one thing. I love so much. I love so many different things. Maybe a little bit of ADHD there, and because of that, I want to share it all with you, and I want to be seen for who I am and also what I can provide you. So again, thanks for being here. I love you. Thank you for witnessing me and seeing me in my humanness. And I want you to know that if you're on this journey too, you're not alone. I love you so much.